everyone, Mineycart here, but you can call me Miney. Welcome back to another Saturday Shuffle video, guys, and happy February 1st. Welcome to the month of love. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a deeper look at one of the things I got for Christmas. If you watched the first Saturday Shuffle video, you would have seen that I got this collection of this card game. This Great British Railway Stations card game, which is now suddenly not going to go into focus. There we go. You can see here, there's a whole bunch of stuff. I probably will record some B-roll for this video. But yeah, says the ultimate guide to the nation's top rail terminals. Okay, so it's like a terminal station. Okay, there are 55 stations, and on the back, it's a fun track. It's fast track to a fun time, is what the quote says on the front. On the back, it says, "Battle it out using Britain's best and worst railway terminus in Great British Railway Stations. It's a rush hour race to steal every station from your opponent using the five categories: platforms, architecture, customer satisfaction, food outlets." And that's the thing, it's supposed to be food outlets, but for some reason it's printed on the back as foot outlets. An annual footfall. There's no way that even that's a T. There's only room for one winner in first class, so make sure it's you. Let's crack into it and get it opened up. Okay, so the first thing we've got is a little how to play card, which I will quickly read through. So you have 2 to 8 players. You need to win all 55 railway stations. So the setup is shuffle and deal out the cards face down. If there are 3, 5 or 6 of you, you won't all start with the same number of cards. The player to go first is the last person who has been on a train. Only if there are 3, 5 or 6 of you, it's the player with the most cards. Okay. Pick up your deck and flip the top cards that only you can see it. If it's you going first, choose a category from your top card and read out the railway station name, followed by that category and the rating. Example, Kettering Architecture 5. Your opponent respond with the rating of their top card for that same category. The player with the highest rating wins. They collect the losing cards from each player and add them to the bottom of their hand, along with the winning card. All players then flip the top card in their hand to start the next round. So basically it's a luck of the draw. Okay, so the first one we've got, see how many of these we've been to. The first one is St Pancras International. So it says, London St Pancras Station is home to the world's longest champagne bar, located on the station's upper level. The bar is over 98 metres in length and offers an exclusive selection of champagne. It has 15 platforms, an architecture score of 10, food outlets is 22, satisfaction is 96%, and its annual footfall is 36 million, which is pretty good. I mean, it's a London station, so, you know, it makes sense. Going to the other end of the West Coast main line now, obviously, well, no, that's not, before anyone comes from in the comments, I know that's not a West Coast main line station, but going from London up to Edinburgh now, Edinburgh Waverley. Edinburgh Waverley became the first Scottish station to have a Christmas tree, and when the roof was refurbished, it took 27,400 new panels of glass, equal to 14 football pitches. Wow. There's some interesting facts about these stations. It has 20 platforms, it has an architecture score of 8, food outlets is 10, the satisfaction is 88.5%, and the annual footfall is 24 million. And I've got to say, from that picture, I love that dome. That dome looks really nice. I really do love that dome. Okay, the next station is, I do believe, the furthest station north. It's Thurso, and yep, it says right there. Thurso Station is the northernmost train station on the British mainland. It is located in the town of Thurso, surprise, surprise, in the county of Caithness. I probably butchered that. I apologise for any Scottish people watching. And it's part of the Far North Line, which runs from Inverness to Thurso and Wick. It has 1 platform, has an architecture score of 2, 0 food outlets. It has a 97% satisfaction rate, and it's our lowest so far for an annual footfall of 39,000. Next station on the line, which I don't feel like is a terminus station. Some of these I don't think are actually terminus stations, because I could be wrong, but I don't think that this one's a terminus. But it's Shippey Hill. It's an infamous station. I mean, one of the former least used stations. Shippey Hill is known for being one of the least used stations in Britain. Wow. I promise I'm not reading these ahead, I just know some facts about some of these stations. With only 12 passengers entries/exits recorded in 2015/2016. His name is also deceiving, as it's not on a hill at all. In fact, it is below sea level. Interesting. It has 2 platforms, an architecture score of 1, no food outlets, 78% satisfaction, and has its lowest annual footfall so far at 432. Next up, we're going completely in the opposite direction. We're going to Reading, which is, I think, at this point, the closest one that has been to me so far, here in Birmingham. We've got the modernised Reading Station, which opened in 2014, and has the largest interlocking metal roof in Europe, spanning 24,384 square metres. The station is the western terminus for the Elizabeth line, which opened in 2022. It still boggles my mind that Reading has a direct line connection to London, because to me Reading always felt like so much further out from London. I guess it is really far out, but it just boggles my mind that I could technically get a train to Reading and then catch an Elizabeth line train into central London. That's possible. I don't know how cheap that would be, but it's technically possible. It has 15 platforms, an architecture score of 8, food outlets 9, satisfaction 82.2%, and an annual footfall of 17.1 million. Very interesting. Next up, we have another infamous station from being infrequently visited. I believe this station is the station with the shortest platform in the country. It's Burney Arms. Burney Arms Station is only accessible by train or foot or by boat. There's no access by car, basically. Thomas Trench Burney, who owned the land in the 1840s, permitted the development of the railway on the condition that a station be put there in perpetuity. So that's why it's there. It has 1 platform, no architecture score, no food outlets, a satisfaction of 80%, and an annual footfall of 442. And it's one of those stations that if you want to visit, you either got to wait there for hours on end or walk about 2 hours to get to Yarmouth. It's one of those stations. It's a bit of a pain. And at some point, I'm going to have to try and visit it. Moving on then to Chichester. In the 1920s, Chichester Station was listed in the top 10 most prestigious southern railway stations. By the 1950s, though, the station had become dilapidated. I can read. Dilapidated, so it was replaced in 1961. It has 2 platforms, 1 architecture score, food outlets of 2, satisfaction 62.6%, and an annual footfall of 3 million. Moving on next to Cleethorpes. Cleethorpes Station, as it's known today, was originally built as the Cleethorpes Marketplace in 1863. In 1873, it was renamed Cleethorpes Pier Station, as it was the terminus for a short-lived pier railway. It has 3 platforms, a score on the architecture scale of 3. Food outlets, it has none. 86.1% satisfaction and 296,000 annual footfall. So a little bit on the lower side. We've got another 1,000 there. But we go back to millions now as we head to Bath Spa. One of the infamous places in the UK, because it's called, people go, see a place in the UK called Bath or Bath. Bath Spa Station, built in 1840, is a Grade 2 listed building, and its platforms are actually suspended above the ancient Roman baths, which were built in 70 AD and can be accessed next to the station. So that's why it's called Bath. I did not know that. I'm learning something new from this. It has 2 platforms, 6 on score for architecture, no food outlets, 89.5% satisfaction, and an annual footfall of 6.5 million. Not bad for Bath. Moving on then to Bedford. Bedford Station serves an important interchange for trains travelling across the Midlands and the south of England. It serves as a northern terminus for trains operated by Thameslink. It also serves as the eastern terminus of the Marston Vale Line and a through point soon for East West Rail, which is exciting. It has 5 platforms, a score of 2 for architecture, 1 food outlet. Satisfaction is 76%, which is a bit low, to be fair, and an annual footfall of 4.06 million. I should specify 4.06 million. Okay, next on the list is the Carlisle Citadel. Carlisle Citadel is an important railway junction which links to Scotland, Newcastle and Manchester. It is also the northern terminus of the Cecil Carlisle railway line, one of the most scenic railway lines in Europe. It has 8 platforms, an architecture score of 8, 4 food outlets, an 86% satisfaction rate, and an annual footfall of 2.07 million, which is lower than I would have expected, honestly, for Carlisle. This is the closest one to me. I don't think there's going to be one that's closest to me, but this is the closest one to me so far, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be the closest one to me. Good old Birmingham New Street, the station everybody loves to hate. The current state-of-the-art Birmingham New Street station was completed in 2015 under the Getaway Plus project. It replaced the eyesore in speech marks, bunny ears. That's what I was looking for. 1960s design with a complete redevelopment that cost 550 million, which is it's kind of crazy to me that it didn't go into the billions. It has 12 platforms, all of which are through. If you guys don't know, and it has one west-facing bay. It has a score of 8 on the architecture, 15 food outlets, and 89.2 satisfaction, and an annual footfall of 48 million. Very impressive. Next up on the list is Luton Airport Parkway. The station was opened in 1999 to serve Luton Airport. 9 years later, it became the first on the North Thameslink route to have its platforms extended to accommodate longer 12-carriage trains. It has 4 platforms, an architecture score of 2, 1 food outlet, 48% satisfaction, and an annual footfall of 41 million. 41 million? 4.1 million. I can read, I promise. Very interesting. Moving on now to What Standwell, which I'm gonna try my best not to make a joke about this. What Standwell was opened as What Stanwell Bridge in 1849. However, in 1894, it was moved to its current location and renamed. The platform of the original station still exists. It has 1 platform, an architecture score of 3, there's no food outlets, a satisfaction score of 83.7%, which is, again, a little bit on the lower side, and an annual footfall of 23,000. We have Tilbury Town. Tilbury Town was opened on the London, Tilbury and Southend Railway in 1885. 10 years later, it was mentioned in Roberts' book Diary of a Voyage to Australia, New Zealand and Other Lands. It has 2 platforms, an architecture score of 1, for 1 food outlet, satisfaction of 47%, which is very low. That's low. I'm very curious about that one. And it has an annual footfall of 1.2 million. Why is that satisfaction so low? There's something in that. I feel like that might be something to look into. Moving on now to Penzance, the tip of the southern coast. Penzance is the westernmost railway station in England and the southernmost railway station in Great Britain. Penzance opened in 1852 and it serves as the western terminus for the Cornish Main Line from Plymouth. It has four platforms, 5 on a score of architecture, 0 food outlets, a satisfaction of 85%, and an annual footfall of 570,000. I'm surprised it doesn't pass a million. Oh, another one that I've actually been to is Liverpool Lime Street. Designed by John Cunningham, Arthur Holm and John Foster Jr. and opened in 1836, Lime Street is the oldest still operating Grand Terminus mainline station in the world. It has 10 platforms, an architectural score of 9, 7 food outlets, its satisfaction is 87.2%, and has an annual footfall of 14.2 million. I went there last August when I went to visit my friend who lives in Liverpool, and it was a lovely station to go to, and I definitely want to go back there again and have a proper poke around, because I was kind of in and out because we were getting on a train and getting off a train to go and see our friend. So yeah, speaking of Liverpool, the next station is Broad Green, it says it may not look like much, but Broad Green is the world's oldest actively operating railway station. Wow, okay. It was opened in 1830 on the Liverpool and Manchester Passenger Railway, the world's first intercity line. It has 2 platforms, 1 architecture, no food outlets, and a satisfaction score of 70.6, and an annual footfall of 424,000. Very interesting. Okay, moving on then to the next station on our list, which is Batton Ball. When Batton Ball was originally opened, it was named Seven Oaks. The name then changed to Seven Oaks Batton Ball to include the name of a local pub in the 1950s. It changed once more to Batton Ball. The pub no longer exists. Okay. It has 2 platforms, an architecture score of 5, 1 food outlet, a satisfaction of 69%. That's very nice. And an annual footfall of 131,000. I've got to say, I quite like the look of it. It's one that I feel like I quite like to go. I mean, obviously, I will be going to visit all these stations if you aren't aware. But yeah. Next up is Temple Combe. Originally opened in 1860, Temple Combe was closed in 1966, and the buildings demolished. In 1968, however, thanks to local community pressure, it was reopened in 1983. It has 1 platform, 4 for its architecture score, no food outlets, satisfaction of 86%, and an annual footfall of 108,000. Next up is Silverdale. Silverdale was first opened in 1858 and serves the local community with limited services on the Furness line, which runs between Barrow and Furness and Lancaster through the beautiful Lancashire countryside. It has 2 platforms, an architecture score of 3, no food outlets, a satisfaction of 90.4%, and an annual footfall of 48,000. Next up on the list is Exeter St David's. Exeter St David's Station features an impressive glass roof, which was designed by Isambard Kingdom Brunel. It's supported by cast iron columns and spans the entire length of the main platform. It has 6 platforms, a score of 5 on the architecture front, 3 food outlets, a satisfaction of 82%, and an annual footfall of 2.6 million. Oh, another station I've actually been to, albeit for about 5 minutes. It's Crewe. Crewe was the first station in the world to have a separate platform for Queen Victoria, who used it while travelling to Liverpool. At one time, it was also the world's largest railway station in terms of platforms, with 20. Nowadays, Crewe has 12 platforms, has an architecture score of 4, 5 food outlets, a satisfaction of 75.1%, and an annual footfall of 3.3 million. Very, very good. Okay, moving on then to Manchester Victoria, which is another station I've been to. Victoria Station was the first station in the world to have a continuous platform, which was revolutionary at the time. Before, passengers had to get on and off the train using stairs or ramps. I'm very confused what that means. I'm assuming... but currently it has 6 platforms, an architecture score of 7. It has 4 food outlets, a satisfaction of 78%, and an annual footfall of 8.9 million. I would like to go back to Victoria at some point when it's not under renovation, because it was being renovated when I was there in August. And I really want to go and see it when it's not being renovated. Next up is Leeds. Leeds Station features a large ornate statue of Queen Victoria installed at the station's main entrance. It is considered to be one of the finest examples of Victorian public art in the country. It has 18 platforms, an architecture score of 6, 17 food outlets, a satisfaction of 79%, and an annual footfall of 30.8 million. I mean, I'd imagine so with those 18 platforms. Jesus. You know there's some stations that you don't know about that much about that are big. But when you hear of like a station like Leeds that's got that many, that big. Obviously I know of Leeds' existence. I'm not that, fake. Next on the list is Hull Paragon Interchange. Originally built in 1848, Hull had a grand entrance hall designed to impress passengers arriving in the city, but it was largely destroyed during the World War II. It was largely destroyed during the World War II. During World War II, it should be. The current station was built on the same site in the 1950s and 60s. It has a platform score of 7, an architecture score of 7. It has 7 platforms, an architecture score of 7, 4 food outlets, and a satisfaction of 17.9%, and an annual footfall of 2.35 million. Okay, next on the list is Grimsby Town. Grimsby Town Station was once the busiest fishing station in the world during its heyday in the mid-20th century. The station was used to transport fish from Grimsby's fish market to other parts of the UK and beyond. It has 3 platforms, an architecture score of 4, no food outlets, 83% satisfaction, and an annual footfall of 457,000. Another station I've been to, and I actually spent a lot of time at that station. Manchester Piccadilly. Originally opened as Store Street in 1842, and eventually becoming Manchester Piccadilly in 1960, this station hosts long-distance services across England, Wales, and Scotland. It has 14 platforms, 12 of those being bay platforms, and 2 of them being food platforms. A score of 5 on the architecture front. It has 11 food outlets, a satisfaction of 79.9%, and an annual footfall of 30.1 million. I have actually approached the station from the outside, but I came in it from a weird angle, so I didn't see like the proper front facade. I just saw like a bit of the side. This one, I'm not going to try and pronounce it. It's the famous, infamous Landfair PG station. Unsurprisingly, this station has the longest name in Britain. It literally translates to St Mary's Church in the hollow of the White Hazel near a rapid whirlpool, and the Church of St Tisla of the Red Cave. It has 2 platforms, an architectural score of 2, food outlets of 0, satisfaction of 90%, and an annual footfall of 21,000. And I do believe it's a request stop. But yeah, Landfair PG. I'm not going to try and pronounce the entire station name. Next on the list is Bristol Temple Meads, Britain's oldest railway station. I'm sure we've already had that, but okay. Bristol Temple Meads was designed by Isambard King de Brunel and opened in the 1840s as the west terminus of the Great Western Railway from London Paddington. It has 13 platforms, 8 architecture score, 7 food outlets, an 83% satisfaction score, and an annual footfall of 11 million. Next on the list is Huddersfield. Huddersfield Station is a Grade 1 Grecian style gem with one of the most stunning facades on the British Railway. It was designed by the architects James Pritchett and built by Joseph Kay. It has 6 platforms, a score of 9 on the architecture, 4 food outlets, 49% satisfaction, and an annual footfall of 4.9 million. And I mean, just looking at that picture, I mean, I'm sure I've overlaid some, a better image, but that's insane. That's the station. That's beautiful. Really is. Next up is Weymouth Bay. Wemyss Bay. I might be butchering that. I apologise. Considering it Scotland's most beautiful train station. So why is it now saying train station and not railway station? It's weird. I'm assuming it's a space thing. Weymouth Bay features long sweeping canopies of which are made of steel and glass and are supported by ornate cast iron pillars that can protect passengers from bad weather. It has 2 platforms with an architecture score of 8, 2 food outlets, satisfaction of 92.6, and an annual footfall of 214,000. Not bad at all. Another station on the West Coast Main Line, we have Glasgow Central. Glasgow Central Station has a network of hidden underground tunnels that was once used to transport mail between different parts of the station. The tunnels were also used during World War II as a bomb shelter. It has 17 platforms, an architecture score of 8, 15 food outlets, 87.8% satisfaction, and an annual footfall of 32.8 million. Next on the list is Newcastle Central Station. One of the most interesting features of Newcastle Central Station is its impressive clock tower, which stands at 75 feet tall. The clock tower was added to the station in 1895 and is a prominent landmark in the city. The station has 12 platforms, an architecture score of 9, 6 food outlets, a satisfaction of 88%, and an annual footfall of 8.9 million. The next station on our list is Kettering. Kettering Station has a unique footbridge that was originally built in 1879 and was designed by William Henry Barlow, an engineer who also designed the St Pancras Station roof in London. It has 4 platforms, an architecture score of 5, 1 food outlet, a satisfaction of 78%, and an annual footfall of 1.06 million. Next on the list is Leicester. Leicester Station was opened in 1840, rebuilt in 1894, and then again 1978. This it's a decent game, but it's like really badly proofread. From Leicester, passengers can reach around St Pancras, Sheffield, and Nottingham on the Midland Main Line. It has 4 platforms, an architecture score of 7, 2 food outlets, 77% satisfaction, and an annual footfall of 5.6 million. We talked about this station earlier. Next up on the list is Great Yarmouth. Great Yarmouth Station originally had an impressive Victorian train shed covering the platforms that was dismantled in the 1980s. However, the original 1844 Grade 2 listed building still remains. It has 3 platforms, a score of 2 on the architecture front, 2 food outlets, an 89.5% satisfaction, and 381,000 passengers. This is its annual footfall. Okay, the next station on the list after this is Dungeness. I'm probably butchering this to high heaven, and I really do apologise. Dungeness Station serves the village of Dungeness. I do love these. Is there nothing else fun, interesting that you can think of to put down for these stations? That this station serves this area that's the exact same name. It's really? Consisting of a unique wooden building, a nature reserve, and a nuclear power plant, all situated on the largest expanse of shingle in Europe. Oh, it does look quite nice, actually. It has 2 platforms, an architecture score of 3, 1 food outlet, satisfaction of 98.9, that's pretty high, and 90,000 footfall. Next on the list is Fort William. Fort William railway station is located in the Scottish Highlands and is notable for being the starting point of the famous Jacobite steam rail train journey and a stop where passengers alight to climb Ben Nevis, Britain's tallest peak. It has 2 platforms, 2 architecture score, 1 food outlet, a satisfaction of 91% and an annual footfall of 160,000. Aha! Another station that I have been to, but not for many years now, Brighton! Brighton Station's curved train shape was built to accommodate the long trains of the 1840s. It's one of the largest in the UK. A clock tower was added in 1882 and it's now a prominent landmark in the city. It has 8 platforms, an architecture score of 7, 7 food outlets, 81.8% satisfaction, which is kind of on the lower side, and an annual footfall of 17.4 million. Aha, next station, and look what we've got in the picture. A pesky pacer has snuck into the picture. Denton. There is only one service to Denton each week, the 9:32 a.m. Friday train to Stalybridge, nicknamed the Denton Flyer. If passengers miss the request stop service, it's a 160-hour wait for the next one. The station has 2 platforms, an architecture score of 0. Food outlets, it has none. It has a satisfaction of 76.7% and an annual footfall of 46. It's really funny to me like how different some of these are. Like you go from like 30 million, 40 million of an annual footfall to 46. Okay, we're coming towards the end now. There's only like I'd probably say about 10, 15, there's more than 10. There's like 15, 20 left. Taunton is the next station. Taunton station was built on the site of an ancient castle, which was destroyed in the English Civil War. Although there's little of the castle left today, its remains are still visible in the station's car park. It has 6 platforms, an architecture score of 3, 1 food outlet, an 82% satisfaction rate, and an annual footfall of 1.5 million. Next station on our list is the wonderful Aberystwyth. Aberystwyth Station is located in Aberystwyth on the west coast of Wales. It was opened in 1864 and is the terminus of the Cambrian Line, which runs through the stunning Welsh countryside. It has 2 platforms, 6 architecture score, 1 food outlet, a satisfaction of 70.2%, an annual footfall of 309,000. Okay, next station on our list is Preston. Originally opened in 1838, Preston Station features an impressive Victorian train shed which covers the station's 8 platforms. Sorry, I've just noticed this, and you'll probably understand why I'm stopped for a second in a minute. And it's topped off by the largest single-span wrought iron roof in the world. According to this, the station has 7 platforms, an architecture score of 7, 5 food outlets, 77% satisfaction, and 4.6 million annual footfall. Now, unless I'm being an idiot, it says Preston Station features an impressive Victorian train shed which covers the station's 8 platforms. Then tells me the station has 7 platforms. I'm going to assume one of them is a abandoned or unused platform. But maybe specify that, because that's just a bit... Do you know what I mean? That's just a little bit confusing. Aha! Another station I have actually been to. Clapham Junction. I have very fond memories of Clapham Junction for one reason, which I won't go into here. But let's just say, someone didn't know how to spell the word Coke, like Coca-Cola. You may be able to work out why that was such a fun memory. Thanks to its distinctive design, Clapham Junction has been used as a filming location for several movies and TV shows, including the popular TV series Doctor Who and the Batman movie, The Dark Knight Rises. Really? They filmed Doctor Who at Clapham Junction? It has 17 platforms, an architecture score of 5, 11 food outlets, 63% satisfaction, and an annual footfall of 29.5 million. I'm very interested in that. No, apparently it's never been filmed at Clapham Junction. So, just out of curiosity, I'm also going to Google like the Batman. What was it? Batman. There's no mention of Batman on the Wikipedia page. Okay, next one is Bewley. Originally opened in 1862 and closed in 1960, Bewley was reopened again in 2002. The new station features a shelter, a car park, and a new single platform, which at 49 feet 9 inches is the shortest in Great Britain. It has one platform, no architecture score, no food outlets, a satisfaction of 100%, and an annual footfall of 48,000. Really? Next on the list is Colchester. At 620 metres, Colchester has the longest physical platform at any station in the UK. However, it is technically divided into two, whereas second place Gloucester's is one single 602 metre platform. It has 6 platforms, an architecture score of 6, 3 food outlets, 72% satisfaction, and an annual footfall of 4.4 million. Okay, next on the list is Curragh. Curragh Station is on the West Curragh Station on the West Highland Line is the highest mainline station in the UK. Curragh and the nearby mountain Ilium, I probably butchered that to high F and I apologise, gained fame when they were featured in a scene from the 1996 film Train Spotting. It has 2 platforms, a score of 3 on the architecture, 1 food outlet, a satisfaction of 94%, and an annual footfall of 14,000. Oh, another station I haven't actually been to yet, but it is very close, which is the next one on our list, which is Nuneaton. Nuneaton Railway Station is the home to the Nuneaton Model Railway Club, which has a large model railway display in the station's waiting room. The display features intricate models of local landmarks and trains. There are 7 platforms, it has an architecture score of 5, 1 food outlet, a 74% satisfaction rate, and an annual footfall of 1.3 million. Next station on the list we've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 6 stations left to go through. So the next station is Whitstable. The first station to serve Whitstable was in a different location. It closed after the last train on the 31st of December 1914 and was replaced a day later by the new station 645 metres to the east. It has 2 platforms, an architecture score of 3, 1 food outlet, 79.3% for satisfaction, and an annual footfall of 900,000. The next station on our list is Sunderland. The original Sunderland Londonderry station opened in 1853, which was designed to resemble a country mansion. Today, only the station's original booking hall and a clock tower remain, as the rest of the station was rebuilt in the 1960s. The station has 4 platforms, 2 architecture score, no food outlets, 54.1% satisfaction, and an annual footfall of 442,000. Aha! Another station I have actually been to next, which I think is probably going to be the last one on this list I've actually been to. Stratford-upon-Avon. Stratford-upon-Avon was originally built as a temporary structure in 1860, but it ended up remaining in use for more than 150 years. In fact, it was only replaced by a new modern station in 2018. The station has 3 platforms, an architecture score of 5, no food outlets, satisfaction of 84%, and an annual footfall of 1.03 million. I think that is going to be, like I said, the last station I have visited, but there are 3 more to go. The first one, which is Paddington. A lot of the architectural detailing of Paddington Station was done by Matthew Digby Wyatt, who took inspiration from Joseph Paxton's Crystal Palace and the Munchin. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that word. The station has 16 platforms, an architecture score of 6, 15 food outlets, 88.8% satisfaction, and an annual footfall of 38.2 million. The final 2 stations left now. We have the penultimate one, which is Waterloo. Waterloo Station is home to the Waterloo Clock, a landmark that's been in place since the station's opening in 1848. The clock faces are 7 metres in diameter, making them the largest railway station clock faces in the UK. Interesting fact. There are 24 platforms at Waterloo, with an architecture score of 8, food outlets of 26, satisfaction of 87.1%, and an annual footfall of 94.2 million. And finally, the final railway station on our list of the 50, it was 55, wasn't it? Yes. Station number 55, what is it going to be? It is Blackpool North. Blackpool North Railway Station was originally built in 1846 as a part of the Preston and Weir Railway. It serves as a major transport hub for both locals and tourists visiting the seaside town of Blackpool. Oh, sorry. It has 6 platforms, an architecture score of 3, 2 food outlets, satisfaction of 74%, and an annual footfall of 1.55 million, and is one of the alternate western terminuses of Avanti West Coast services. Sometimes they'll go Glasgow, Edinburgh, Manchester, but another place they will go to is Blackpool North. In fact, that's like the furthest northwest they go until you go up to like Scotland and such. They don't go anywhere near the Lake District. They go through the middle of it, but not like into the little bit around the side, the Barrow Furness area. That'd be interesting. I feel like that could be a thing. But anyway, there we go then. That is all of the cards. I would be interested to play this game at some point, but it does kind of feel just like potluck when he went on up. But yeah. Also, I need fans I want to play it wide. But yeah, honestly, this game seems kind of cool. I'm more interested in it just for all the nice pictures and stuff. There was one station, I can't remember what it was. The one that I just said that looked really nice. Let's see if I can find it real quick. I'm trying not to mess up the order because I want to go through and just take a bunch of pictures. For Huddersfield. That's what it was. Look at how beautiful of a station that is. I want to go and visit that station. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I'm probably going to take a bunch of pictures of these and sort of put them over here. If you guys are wondering, by the way, this is the Lake District, speaking of. That is some pictures I took from my most recent trip to the Lake District back in October. But anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video. At the end of today's video, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a teaser. Just to sort of, get you guys interested. Because I've talked a lot about trains and plans regarding trains in this video. But if you aren't following me on Twitter or Instagram or, aren't maybe looking at my Ko-fi or streams, you may be a little bit confused when I talk about visiting all stations. Essentially, I'm currently on a bit of a mission to try and visit every railway station in the UK, and at the time of recording, I've visited 120 railway stations. My most recent station I visited was, when I say yes, it was Henley and Arden was my most recently visited station. But I'm trying to visit as many as I can. I'm eventually hoping to visit all of them. It's probably just going to be a very slow process that takes a couple of years. I'm not doing it like an all the stations kind of thing where I try and do it really quickly. I'm taking my time and, enjoying it. Okay, this is where I'm going to quickly swoop in the edit and just say that because of the fact that this edit took so long, and I ended up skipping last week's video, the bit here where I'm talking about like timelines doesn't work anymore because things have changed. So next week, you will see my first train vlog. It's not a vlog out in the wild just yet. That will be coming up in, I believe, March. The first one of those is coming out. But I've got 2 videos first, sort of bringing you up to speed with what I'd done before I started vlogging. Then I've got, I want to say, 5 vlogs already in the can at the time of me recording this, which for the record is literally less than 12 hours before this video comes out. It's currently 3:34 in the morning. But yeah. So I've got, I want to say 5 vlogs. Yeah, I've got 5 vlogs ready to go, and I'll be trickling those out throughout the next couple of months. So look forward to those. But yeah, I'm going to end this video here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed today's video and you would like to see more content like this on the channel, then please don't forget to like it. And if you are new around here, please do subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future videos like this one. And keep an eye out, like I say, next Saturday for my first update, my first train vlog, which will be an update on the first bits of my train spotting journey to visit all stations in the UK. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you all soon. Goodbye. Bye!